Breaking overnight, hundreds of protesters marching in the streets of Hope. This demonstration was a response.
The images eventually became very similar to what we saw last year.
A clear message of breaking overnight, hundreds of protesters marching in the streets of Hope. This demonstration was a response.
The images eventually became very similar to what we saw last year.
A clear message of
Everything had a price
On
tag.
money, yep.
Yeah, on Memphis, on Front Street, they still have some of the slave auction blocks where we actually stood to be auctioned.
For the money.
They preserved that right for money.
For money.
Yeah, King Cotton.
So
Cotton.
given that, is I do want us to get into talking about vaccination, but
Sure.
DG, you mentioned this a few times about following this money trail, and I'm curious, why do you say that? What is your concern, apprehension, or suspicion about COVID and a money trail? What do you think that's about?
I just think everything has a price tag, right? Some agendas can get pushed, whether they're true or false, you know, for
Right.
the greater good or not. How can it benefit me? We're selfish by nature. I think you have to be trained to have unselfish living, in my opinion, right? So
I agree.
if I can
I agree
win,
with that.
I'm gonna win at all costs. You talked about our leadership in government, and I can't remember if it was our governor, but somebody in that party shortly after, around Thanksgiving of 2020, 2021, when we got shut down, they were out at a restaurant eating.
Oh, that was
Oh, pure theater.
Having a party.
Pure theater. People act like
So
they,
when
yeah.
that type of stuff happens, and I
hit a
see
nerve.
that,
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
me say, well, are we really shut down?
Yeah,
You say,
right.
James, don't go gather with your family for Thanksgiving because you may get COVID.
That's right.
But I'm about to party with these 20 people
That's
at
the
a private
message they
restaurant.
gave us.
That's where I see, or why I say, follow the money.
That brings up another point. People act as though there are two Harvards and two Princetons. Democrats and Republicans all belong to the same country club.
Absolutely.
They live in the same neighborhoods. That's theater for us to think that there's a
That's
divide.
funk, right?
Yeah,
Right? They all have the same investments.
yeah.
But on TV, it's them and then it's them. And I think we're the ones, I think they see themselves as the ancient Roman elite, that we have no idea how to
Right.
govern ourselves.
Yeah.
We need these people to lead and govern us and tell us what's right and what's wrong and how
Yeah.
to think.
But where's the money going? Well, I'm still going. I'm pressed.
You missed the money.
Help tell me where it's at.
You
Where-
can't
where-
go out and eat, but
Okay.
I can go out and eat. I could go do what I need to do.
What about the mask?
But
This one
nobody's
works, but
making
this one
money.
doesn't. Wait, let's upgrade
Yeah,
it. But
to the-
this- Gavin Newsom have. I heard. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no mask.
I don't know if this is true or not. But I heard he has some stake in some mask making company. Right. In other words, they have incentives.
Let
to
me
say,
come back to that.
Not this one, but this one.
When they gave the small business stimulus package, your boy Newsom, the business that he has stake
80
in,
grand he gets,
we're getting
right?
paid before you get paid.
Absolutely.
At the highest.
For his wineries.
Yeah,
They're getting money.
his
That's,
wineries.
that's where I'm following the money. at.
Absolutely.
That when I say those type of things, that's what I
So,
mean.
so
Can't
is that?
ignore
And
that.
I'm just asking. Is that an issue of when you say follow the money? Is that an exploitation of the opportunity, or is the money piece?
However you want to tag it.
Okay.
All the above. I say
Okay,
all the
you tag
above.
it.
Hey, I'm just trying to understand what
However you
what.
tag
I say
it.
all the
That's
above.
why I say follow the money.
What have we not exploited in this
Yeah.
country? The name our country
But that
is
doesn't. Yeah.
synonymous with exploitation.
That doesn't take away that
In a lot of ways.
COVID is really killing people.
Right.
Right.
That's
That-
right. It
That's
does
a
not.
fact.
That's
I'm
right.
with Tim. It's
That's right.
a 2-lane highway. So when we talk money, that's a different highway than COVID. But
The direction
COVID's
is still. Yeah.
COVID's generating some money for
Very well
somebody.
said, yeah.
It's also taking people out, which is a sad thing.
Mr. Walker, these are great questions, and this is a really powerful discussion too.
Well, man, that's why I wanted y'all around the
Anyway,
table.
the
Talk to me about
perspectives
it.
I'm hearing though, yeah, it's just provoking a lot of thought as we actually even sit here.
So let me get to something I really want to know. We've had this out here for a while, and then we've gotten to this idea of vaccination. Now, some folks say, look, I ain't getting vaccinated. You ain't shooting nothing up in my arm. I'm going to get a chip You ain't putting no chip in me. Some people say, look, I'm going to get this vaccinated because if this is what's going to protect me, then I'm trying to get protected,
Sure.
right? So what are your thoughts about that as you look at our community and there's a varying opinions about it, but how have y'all seen it? What are some of the opinions, perspectives you heard, and why do you think they're valid or not, right?
My answer was easy along those lines. It was none of your business. It's nobody's business around this table if I'm vaxxed or not. It's not even my mama's business. That's how I felt. Period. I'm not going to discuss it. People say you don't talk about religion and politics. Now you don't talk about religion, politics, and vaccination.
Yeah.
And I noticed a trend that it was the vaxxed and boosted people that seemed to have been getting COVID as well.
Yeah.
Didn't understand that. That threw another wrench in my understanding.
I never felt protected. I mean,
Interesting.
because the vaccinations and the boosters, first and foremost, got me sick, I felt like. And then I caught COVID. I'm like, oh, you kidding me?
Interesting.
And then the other thing was, because I look at a lot of things with economic perspective, the vaccinations, by mandating them to go in, everywhere requires a
There you go. I was
vaccination.
about to say, start affecting my life.
Everywhere requires a vaccination. Who's getting this money? Pfizer, Moderna, these companies. And like, it's. I think there's a huge dark side to vaccinations more than there is. Like,
Lucrative.
yeah.
Moderna
to be
just
honest.
applied for a fourth one.
Don't leave Johnson.
I
and Johnson
know.
out.
For a fourth one.
Yeah.
Even when the
That's
experts say
crazy.
we're not sure if that's even necessary.
Yeah.
That's a lot of revenue.
They're like every
It's
4
a lot of
months you
money.
should probably get one.
That's a lot of money coming
Give
in.
me money every
Yeah.
4 months.
There it is
Yeah.
again what he said.
Again, personal privilege of what you share, but again, just thinking about, many of us have been vaccinated as children. We've received vaccinations. They've been around.
True that. Yep.
Flu vaccinations come out. And so the idea of vaccination, just to be clear again, is not about preventing you from ever getting it. That's
Yeah.
not what vaccinations do. It doesn't prevent you necessarily from getting it. And why you might have gotten sick is because obviously there's they're giving you some of that virus,
Right.
their
Yeah,
version
for
of it,
sure,
right?
for
So that
sure.
you can, your
For
body
sure.
begins to build up immunity to it. So it's going to make you sick.
Is that how John and Jane Doe perceive it though when it comes on the news? We're thinking like he did. He
No,
still said, "Are you
no.
kidding me? I'm vaxxed and boosted and I got it." The message seems to be, people, please go and get in line and get your vaccination, and
Yeah.
you should be okay and fine because our
Yeah.
leaders
But
are telling us to do
No,
that.
but Steve, and this is what James was going for. For me, it's not about you will be fine. There's no guarantees. The reason I did, first of all, like it's science and math. I wasn't the first in line.
Yeah,
And I'm an analytical person.
Sure,
But I said,
sure.
let me just see the data.
Mm.
But what it did is, given my age, I assume I'm the oldest running around here. I'm 62 years old, right? If it reduces my chances of getting it, doesn't eliminate 100% to your case,
Yeah.
but if it reduces, I'll take that. Once I started seeing the numbers and saying if it mitigates the chances, if it reduces my chances of getting COVID from 70% to 30%, I still got a 30% shot of getting it. But
I
it gives me a
understand.
little
Sure.
more room, right? I'll take those odds if I was in Vegas.
And if it reduces your chance, if you get it, that you don't
That
get
you-
as sick.
That's the
Where-
other half. That's
right?
the other part
When
too.
we look at 45 and older, it was one of the highest populations that were dying of COVID. And now you look at it, you see increases of those from like 20 to 35 are dying more from it. And so,
And it's
that-
real
yeah.
important. I was not first in line. I would not. I was like, I've got to go do what you do, but I got to see the numbers. But once I started connecting the dots, I was like, okay, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable taking it. Vax. I got blessed not to have the effects that you had. But when I got boosted, I had some effects. That's okay. I feel, again, I could get it.
If it wasn't required, would you still have got it?
There you go. That's the real. If it wasn't required,
Yeah.
yes.
You still would have got it?
When you say
Well, all of
required,
you?
By your
what do you
job.
mean?
By
my
Like,
job.
to like entry.
To go
Like,
in,
like, to
yeah.
go
It wasn't
into-
required for me. I got it
Yeah.
strictly
You know,
because
yeah,
I
And
was
it's not required for me.
Huh?
I think that's a really
Yeah,
good question.
that's a
But
good
what about the
question.
eternal tester? Right?
Yeah.
I've done nothing but test.
Yeah.
I've come negative every
I feel
time.
you, yeah.
I'm not saying I'm rolling dice.
Yeah.
and I work in what can be considered a petri dish. I work in a public school.
Yeah.
There's not enough knowledge out there for me. So
Yeah.
part of it was let me see what's going to happen first. And I've been watching for a long time. But I'm thinking about what about those who are like me, who seem to be the eternal tester.
And I think this conversation is great. And James, something keeps sticking out with me. You keep calling it an idea, right? So like the lady used the language of victims.
Sure.
James used the language of idea of a vaccination. I think the definition was changed as well to say prevent. When COVID came out, somewhere I may be wrong, that the definition was changed. A word in the definition was changed to prevent versus mediate and bring down.
I totally
right?
agree.
So when you get those type of things of saying, should I get it, should I not get it? Is it mandatory, right?
Yeah.
Why do I have to get it? And this is why I wanted to go to about our community and why our numbers may be higher. Tim said it, Steve said it. I wanted to wait and see what the data showed for whatever reason.
Right.
Is it trust in the government? Is
Thank
it
you.
trust in medicine? Is it the trust in the math and the science? For whatever reservation you create, we wait and see. And now maybe during my wait and see, I get COVID.
But let's be real clear. In the hood, in our community, there's wait and see, and then there's wait.
But that's
Yeah,
the wait.
yeah, yeah.
No, because that's why.
Let me get to that. I'm gonna get to that.
San Francisco number.
Yeah, let me get to that
It
though.
was still the lowest number.
Let me talk to you about that.
All right,
I just
talk
talked to
to
Steve and him
Sharon.
earlier about the power of negotiation.
Yep,
Giving people
absolutely.
the autonomy to say no first,
Thank you.
it will lead
Thank
to a
you.
yes, in
Yep.
my opinion.
Thank
so if
you.
I say it's mandated, I
Absolutely.
may not go. But the way you explained it, I would have got it anyway because I feel like at age 62, or what James said, if I get it, I may not go to the hospital. I might say, you know what?
Yeah.
If I was on the fence, I might do that.
Yeah.
Because they're not making me do it.
Yeah.
You know,
I
they're
buy
not
that.
saying I
I
can't.
do.
I
I
would
buy
buy
that.
into
Yeah.
that. So I
Yeah.
think it's
I buy that.
presentation from whoever's the presenting body
It's
of
true.
the vaccination.
'Cause
To get more numbers in our community. I'm talking about the power of persuasion for our people.
You know, but you said something earlier. In our community, and there's a couple brothers that have been taped on it, it wasn't, oh, okay, I'll get it sooner. You know what impacted them the most? Is
Their
what
job.
you said earlier. No. Is when their family members started getting it. And they
Oh,
said,
yeah,
That's their
for
when they
prerogative.
stood back
I'll
and
defend
said,
Sure,
I'm
for
going to get
sure.
it because I don't want my
I don't
kid
want-
to get it.
Or I'm going to get it
Or
because
I'm
I
gonna
don't
get
want
it
my
because
mom
my
to get
auntie
it.
to get it.
I-
That's what really, in some
But
cases.
that's what it
But
took.
the numbers was, and even with that, we were still the lowest percentage of the districts in San Francisco to get it.
And we're
We
still
were
one of the
real.
lowest
I think
ethnic
it's-
groups to
And well, when I say in the district, because that is us.
I think it's worth
bless you for that.
defending. I think it's worth defending that segment of the population.
Yeah.
Something that's aggravating to me. People don't understand that your democracy or your democratic ideals start at where you do not agree with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? People say, "Oh, in this country, you get to do as you please." That's the great thing about America until they don't like your decision.
Well, let me
And
ask
there
you
was
this,
a lot
Steve.
of pressure put on people
let me
to have
ask
a
you this.
herd mentality.
So let me just throw this back at you. When do you lose your individual kind of rights?
At a point I decide.
No. As it pertains to the health and well-being of the general public.
Oh, you mean like the cigars? We can sell that when we know that it's harmful and unhealthy.
But he
Oh,
wasn't
that's-
asking that. He wasn't
Alcohol.
asking general. He was
That's
asking
not the same?
individual.
But you're
thing.
not being
But it's
forced
legal.
to drink it, though. What I'm saying is...
I'm not being forced to take a vaccine either.
But what I'm saying is, when we talk about mandating, as you all are saying, we are talking about a public health issue. And that people are saying, yo, we know how it's being spread. It's highly contagious. And so if we want to reduce the spread of it, mask is cool, but there's some other things that if you want to kind of get to normalcy, you got to get vaccinated. And some folks say, oh, you shouldn't tell me that.
Understood.
That's not, you're infringing on my rights.
Completely understood. I don't like reading about gun violence. But we're not going to have that conversation.